Welcome back to another video. It's more or less going to be the same. It's going to be feeding the cattle and stuff. Most of the since that I'm a small farmer and we're only doing suckler cattle, and that's basically all we do. And we do then silage then in the summertime and slurry and manure and all that. So there's not much happening on this farm because it's only a small Irish farm. So most of these videos will be more or less the same. But come February and March, we'll have rolling to do and stuff like that. So there'll be a little bit of diversity in the content, hopefully. But for now, I want to try and release as much content as I can, but try and make it somewhat differently, somewhat watchable for you viewers, so that you're not watching sort of the same stuff over and over again. Calf is sucking away nicely. So just like my other video, I think it was Busy Winter's Day on the Farm or something I titled it, and then in the thumbnail I put down a text saying silage, dung and snow or something like that, and it was basically me doing the jobs with the dung, loading it into the box, and then doing the silage as well. And this is what this video is going to be more or less about again, unfortunately. I'll try and sort of spice it up a little bit. But I do want to keep giving you content to watch. I want to grow my community. I want to grow my channel. And since it's only a small farm that I work on, I'm not in dairy or beef, or I don't do root crops or arable crops or any stuff like that. So I'm going to try my best and give you the content that I can without the content getting repetitive. So hopefully me explaining that to you doesn't put you off or make you unsubscribe or make any new viewers not subscribe, because there will be other content coming. There will be slurry videos, there'll be silage videos, and similar to the videos I've uploaded in the past. But I'll also try and do more of these sort of farm vlogs when it comes to the slurry and the silage and all that. Hopefully you get where I'm coming from. I'm only working with what I got here, but all I can do is record content and the editing process, see how it comes out. Might as well fill this while I'm at it. What was I saying again? Yes, more or less the content is going to be for the next 2 or 3 weeks anyways. But I don't know, that needs to be tightened or adjusted. It's leaking badly from there. Anyways, with that sort of pushed behind us and explained, I think you know more or less what this video is going to be about. The silage, a bale is going to have to be put in, but before we do that, we'll spread the silage out between them and maybe leave them a while so they can clean up the floor a bit, because if I give them this silage and then throw a fresh bale in, they tend not to eat this sort of silage then because of the fresh bale that's been put in. So I'll just throw this silage to them and spread it out evenly among them, whatever. And keep an eye on them, come back in a couple of hours and see that they have it cleared up. Any bits that they don't eat will pile up away somewhere, and we can just use it as bedding for the calves in the pens. And then once that's all cleared, we'll get the 135 in the box. We'll back it into as far as we can get it. That'll have to be moved. And then we'll load this pile of dung, which I've already recorded in many videos as well, along with the silage. So again, I'm only trying to work with what I got here. Anyways, enough of the talk, and we've been talking for a while anyways, and no action. So I guess we'll begin. So while I was busy feeding them and setting up the camera and the different angles, I totally forgot about the water, and I don't know if the camera will pick it up. But you mightn't be able to hear the sound, but right there's two holes, as you can see there, for tying the rope and the barrel to the barrier so they don't sort of move and then topple it over or anything like that. And the water started coming out here. So there's obviously some wet ground here. We'll have to sort that out, move away all the wet silage and put it out into the dump pile, because it's no good for anything else. And we clean the silage out of that barrel as well, for them to be easily drink the water out of it. Anyways, back to the feeding and finishing this off. Well, that's the first pile in the box loaded up. As you can see, it's gone. We have that pile left over there to fill, but this pile is way bigger than the first pile, and the box at the moment is looking pretty full. So I might go over it now off camera, try to tidy it up. I can't even speak English. I'll go over it now off camera and try to tidy it up a little bit and see how much of that second pile we can fit in. But we're definitely not going to get that second pile on there. I'm going to have to go and empty it. And again, for new viewers who may have not watched previous of my videos, our dump pit isn't legal. I'll show you it now. Now this is this is our dump pit, which hasn't been used in years. Actually, it must be roughly maybe 10 years. We actually stopped using it, I think, way before the new law came in. But for a dump pit to be legal, it needs to either have a roof over it, or if it's opened like this, it needs to have a drainage system. So in our case, our nearest drainage system would be our slurry pits over there. There's one just there and there's one there. We don't really have any other tanks to put it in. So I guess it's the slurry pit over there where we can pipe it into. But for that to happen, we'd have to dig up the whole yard there and put in like some sort of pipe and drainage system to drain out all the stuff, and then put it into the tank over there. Obviously the pipe will have a little bit of an angle going down, because the tank over there, I think it's either 6 or 8 foot deep. It's deep enough. But if we were to make this legal, we'd have to either put a roof on it, which I think is going to be the plan in the near future, or dig up a bit of the farmyard there, a bit of a trench, put a pipe in it. Obviously we need to have it here, and then it sort of going down downwards, so that the water can flow into the slurry tank or the slurry pit. Pipe would be somewhere there, and probably bring it all the way across to the slurry pit over there, and it obviously going down at an angle that the pipe ends up at probably near the bottom of the tank anyways, since down there is technically lower than up here, because there's actually a slight hill here. So if there were a pipe to come running down here and into the pit, the pipe would probably actually be at the very bottom of the pit over there, the slurry pit. But if it was me, I think I'd be putting a roof on it, throw up a few girders, a couple of tin sheets like that. Obviously they have holes in it, because that's an old one, but those there don't have holes in it. You know, throw up tin sheets similar to that, and obviously have it'll keep the rain off, keep all the water from draining it into waterways and stuff. Anyways, back to this. I'm going to try and tidy this up as much as possible off camera, and then we'll try and squeeze as much of that onto the box as possible. And then obviously for those new viewers and new subscribers who may not know, we do sort of borrow, hire, rent, whatever you want to call it, our neighbours dump it. He used to do a bit of contracting for us, so you know, we do pay him for the lease of that, for the lease of his dump pit, which is legal, unlike ours. We do give him some jobs as well to do, keep him going, you know, which is a nice little system we have going on there. So anyways, we'll get back to this. I'll do my thing there, and I'll get back to you after a while. Right, that's looking way better. When I was filling it, I was just throwing all the shite in on wherever it would land, and it was just piling here up at the back. So I just took it out and sort of built it here on the front, and then leave a little sort of hollow or valley in at the back. Build that up then a bit, then build the front up again, and we should hold a bit more than what we would have done. Now, let's see how much of this pile we can fit in. just another thing I left out there. I was explaining that our dump pit isn't legal, and we go over to our neighbour and farmer to use his dump pit. But the reason why I said that was he's an old person. He'd be in his late 60s, early 70s. So me going around with a camera and setting it up around his farm, and then him being working around there as well, he's not very fond of that. So I do respect his privacy. It's his property at the end of the day, so I have to follow his rules. If he doesn't want me going around with a camera, recording and all that sort of stuff, I'm not going to do that. So the only bit of content you'll see with the dung is just me filling the box. You won't see me emptying the box because of the man that I'm going to doesn't want me filming on his property. So you got to respect the property owner's privacy. If he doesn't want me recording on his farm, I'm not going to go ahead and record on his farm. So that was the reason I was on about the whole dump pit scenario and stuff, but I forgot to mention that. Anyways, now let's fill this into the box. That's how much I could get onto it, even though there's feck all of it here left. But dung is wet, it's heavy, especially when it's piled up like that in a box. That's going to be really heavy. There's no front weights on our 135, even though we were planning on, a couple of years ago, we were planning on making some sort of a weight on the front of it, but we sort of threw that plan in the bin. But yeah, there's feck all of that left. I tried to fit it all on, but obviously dung is heavy. I have to go over the road. There's part of it a main road, and then it's all back road, but still I don't want to be like turning in onto the back road and then having the front wheels lift up in the air and have cars behind me or any stuff like that. So I thought it'd be a bit more sensible and safe just to leave it with the way it is. There's probably still too much on it, but look, I'm not going taking it off it now. I guess the only way I'll find out is to drive it out there and down to the gate and onto the road and see if the front wheels and the steering is light, and then I know. Anyways, as I mentioned in a couple of minutes ago in this video, it's on a neighbouring farmer's farm, and he doesn't want me recording on his property. So when you see me next on this video, this box will be emptied and we'll throw the rest of that into it then. So I'll see you then. Well, thank fuck for that. It's finally empty. That took a while, and it wasn't fucking easy either. But anyways, let's get back to the job at hand. Let's get this and put it into the box and just be done with the dung for another couple of hours anyways, until evening time, when they all have to be cleaned out again, and then the process begins again tomorrow. Two piles are gone, and the last small bit that was left there is now loaded into the box, so we can go ahead and park up the little red tractor. Now, I had a viewer comment on one of my videos Now, I had a viewer comment what I think about the International's cold start, and I commented to him that I thought it was pretty good. It's not too bad. Obviously, it's not the best out there, but it works and it's not too bad, and that's all you can ask for, really. But I also said in that very same comment that I'd show him how we do it. Obviously, there's different members in my family, my dad, my brother and me, and we all really have our own different ways of doing it. Again, there's probably no right or wrong way, as long as it actually is you doing the cold start. So first of all, you obviously have to lift the stop start thing up. Make sure it's in neutral, foot on the clutch, and then when you turn on the key and put the ignition on, you turn it a bit and then there's a tight spot and you just hold it there for a few seconds. Okay, I've been holding it for about 5 seconds ish. I didn't want to bore you with just waiting, but we'll start it now. Give it a little bit of throttle. Now that's how I do the cold start. Obviously that started way more easier than what it would have done if it was a colder day. But today it's Monday the 23rd and it's actually quite mild. It's about 8 degrees, so if it was way colder temperatures, maybe like 3 degrees or maybe even colder, it'll probably take an extra sort of turn of the engine to actually start it, but that started way easier than what it would have done if it was a cold day. Right, that's a bale put in. It's some nice quality silage, that. I threw them all a small bit just to keep them going, since they already got the bit of silage that was there this morning, and I just threw them an extra bit of the fresh stuff, and that should keep them going until evening when we feed them again. But now that they're fed, I need to feed myself. And that is going to be the end of today's video. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please do give me a like, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and hit the bell notification to be notified of every future videos. And I'll see you in my next video very soon. Take care.